Hello everyone and welcome to the movie show. I'm your host Tyler Calkins, and today we're going to be doing a review for Little Women. This is mostly going to be a non-spoiler review, but there is going to be one section that I get into a little bit of a spoiler. I'll clarify that before we get there, but let's dive into this. And ladies and gentlemen, going into the movie, originally what I dove onto was the cast. I heard the cast was this amazing cast with Saoirse Ronan, and you got Florence Pugh, and you got Emma Watson, and you've got Laura Dern, and you've got Meryl Streep, and you've got Timothée Chalamet. You've got this killer cast coming together, right? You got Greta Gerwig directing, who has all this love from little Lady Bird, which I watched Lady Bird. I didn't love Lady Bird. I thought it was a little too a very personal story of mother and daughter, and not something that I connected with. Obviously, I don't know the mother-daughter relationship. Hello. But many people love that movie, and clearly it's understood why. It just wasn't something for me. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this movie is so good. It is so good. The thing, what's amazing? I thought it was going to be a cuter story. I thought it was going to be a story of, people. And it is so emotional. It is so deeply, deeply emotional, this film. The performances within the film are very, very good. But the real standouts here are going to be Saoirse Ronan playing the character of Jo. And she just does this phenomenal, she's feisty, she's passionate, she loves what she does. And I identify with her because of those qualities, and I see many people who can. Probably next up on the list who does very well in this movie is Florence Pugh playing Amy, I think is her name. I'm terrible with names of movies, so forgive me on that. But Florence Pugh playing Amy in this movie was just phenomenal. She does some really killer stuff because she's just so sweet and innocent, and you really feel it just right from the immediate moments of the top of the film, and she plays it all throughout. But she also, she has a growth throughout the film, that's really good. So again, I really, really love her work in the movie. I thought she just did this amazing job of being sweet. But then, there's this arc as she gets, older, and then, she gets more mature and more wise and isn't so innocent and isn't so sweet. And you kind of watch that as you go along through the journey. Really, really cool stuff. The other standout, oddly enough, in this film, that's supposed to be all women, Little Women, but a really good part of this was Timothée Chalamet. If Timothée Chalamet doesn't get a Best Supporting Actor nomination for this movie, I think it's a crime. I honestly do. I think, obviously there's going to be your Joe Pesci's and stuff like that for The Irishman. Hello. I mean, come on. But ultimately, Timothée Chalamet should be in the running for Best Supporting Actor for Little Women. He is phenomenal. What I'll say about his character of Laurie is that while he might be at times misguided, he is such a good person and a good human. And you fall in love with him from the moment he's on camera, and you just love him almost the entire time, except for the couple times that you get him, he's a little misguided, but you don't really hate him or fault him for that too much. He really is just phenomenal throughout the film. Really impressive stuff. Really great work. Greta Gerwig directs the hell out of this thing. I'm so impressed with what Greta Gerwig was able to do in this movie. From the cinematography to the direction to the shots, it's so beautiful, it's so wholesome, it's so warm. I thought it was odd that a movie like this had a PG rating, and I was concerned that, maybe it was just it's gonna be really dull. But what happened and what I realized throughout watching the movie is that rating is not a detriment to the film. It's a byproduct of the film's wholesomeness. The film is so wholesome. There's even points of the film that in today's jaded, awful world, you expect certain characters to do awful things, and then you're like, oh my God, they're just good people. And why the hell would I think that about somebody? There's this innocence and this wholesomeness to it that I think is it's almost like they don't make them like that anymore. Or they don't make movies like this anymore. They almost talk about it in the film at the end. It's really fascinating how they talk about writing what's safe or doing what you love, being the change that you want to see in the world kind of thing. And it works really well. It's really phenomenal stuff. Laura Dern is wonderful as the mother to these girls, and she just has, again, this motherliness, this lovingness. You feel it, and the movie really shines in that it is all these little subtle moments. It's all these subtle nods and this acting with your face, and it's just, there's so many emotions conveyed throughout the film from actors' faces that are just, it's really amazing stuff. I'm just so impressed by it. This is one of the better acted films I've seen this year, period, bar none. Really, really fantastic, just subtle moments, from the cast all around. I know I mentioned it in my Bombshell review, but I'm going to mention it again. Should be another, SAG, nominated cast, because this ensemble is just phenomenal. It's a really good ensemble of really good actors putting out really good work. So one thing that does happen throughout the movie, and it's one thing that I'll mention, and I won't mention it, I won't dive into it too deep, but one thing about the film that I will mention is there's this dynamic between, Amy and Joe, where, again, they're siblings where you love each other, but like you're like competing to be better than one another. And what happens is that the girls are separated at some point. Something happens, and then Amy wants to exact revenge on Joe, and Amy does something just terrible, like unforgivable, like I don't understand it. And Joe gets so mad, and like it kind of fractures them for a minute, and I completely understand, because I would be furious as well. Furious. Joe has every right to be furious. Amy completely crosses a line. It's fantastic stuff. I was in shock watching it happen. I was like, oh, I can't believe that's happening. Like it was really good. It was really well written. There's this scene between one of the sisters, Beth, who's like the good, innocent sister. She's very wholesome. She's the quieter. She doesn't want to cause a fuss. She doesn't need her, like all these sisters have kind of personalities and dreams and goals, and they want to put their voice out there and be heard. And Beth is kind of more this character, who kind of, is quieter and doesn't need any spotlight and doesn't want to fuss about something. She's just that kind of innocent, calm character. So this is where we're diving into spoilers, and if you're not ready to hear this, just check out right now. This will be the end of the review for you. You go watch the movie, you come back for here. So what happens is that Beth and Joy are on the beach, and they're having like this sweet moment, and Joy is reading to Beth on the beach. And Beth says to Joe, I don't like it when you read other people's stories. I want you to read your stories. And Joy says to Beth, well, I don't have anything new to write. She stopped writing for a while, just didn't want to write anymore. Writer's block, whatever the case. And Beth says to Joy, no, I want you to write me a story. I want you to read me that. And Joy does. Joy writes her a story, and she reads it to her on the beach. It's this really sweet, kind of innocent moment. And Joy finishes the story, and Beth thanks her for writing a story. And she thanks her for writing the story because it's a story about all of the stuff that they like, and it's all about them. And Beth says to Joy, thank you for writing that story for me. I want you to write it, I want you to keep writing. I want you to write another story, and I want you to write another one, and I want you to continue to keep writing, and I want you to write another one even after I'm gone. And it broke me. It made me think of my siblings. And you have to do the things that you love even after the people you love are gone. And yeah, you might set them down for a while. You might set them down. You might not want to do them. But you have to pick them back up, right? You have to pick up the things that you love to do. So it's this really emotional, beautiful scene. I'm getting emotional right now. I can't help it. I'm a sappy guy. But it is this amazingly, deeply emotional film that just breaks you. It was this great scene in the movie, and it's this incredibly, deeply emotional film that just... they just don't make them like this anymore. They really don't. And it was incredible. It was a really great film. Greta Gerwig literally is hitting home runs with this film. I can't believe the subtleties, the wholesomeness. It has like this holiday family feel that is just so warm. It's like going home for Christmas. It's amazing. And it really, what's great about this movie and what I really loved about it is it's, that these really small acts from seemingly little women, right, can be remarkable and life-changing for other people and really have an effect on everything around them. And it really is like the central theme to the film, and it's a really beautiful, beautiful movie. I would say go see it in theaters. I hope it does get some awards love, because I think it's not getting as much as it should, but it was a really beautiful, emotional, phenomenal film. Go see this movie. What are your thoughts? Did you think the cast was really great? And I will say, as far as the cast being as amazing as I thought they were going to be, they lived up to as great as I thought they were on paper. But what are your thoughts? Go ahead, comment down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell all the way to the top. That way you don't miss any of my new content. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.